Yeah.
And I mean, it's just been 2 weeks. Imagine.
I know. It really is dramatic. The quality of the questions and their inquiries, and then getting that idea of the pupils, actually becoming the co-researchers, and also the video diaries. I just thought, this is remarkable, and it must be also to do with your, if you like, very disciplined and focused attention on what you now see to be really vital in moving these inquiries forward. Because
Really, it's just been a kind of a natural evolution.
Yeah, that's great.
It hasn't felt strained or pushed, or although they certainly articulate at times that there's some confusion.
Yeah.
But they're very good at chatting with each other. So there'll be a question asked, and I deliberately take time.
Yeah.
Because if they can come from them, then that's what I do with it.
Yeah.
So that's a claim of mine, and I think I've got the videotape to show it. But even yesterday when we were chatting with you, you noticed that I gave them time.
Yep.
And more came forward as you do give that time, which we often underestimate as educators, that time needed to kind of formulate thoughts.
Well, it's also, it's a really important insight, isn't it? Because that ability to withstand silence, to give the time and that space, and then with the silence, to enable them to actually come forward. That's really good.
And I think it's not something I always knew. I mean, you'd always read about, are you giving the children enough time to respond? And that tolerance for, that wait time.
Yeah.
When you see it actually happening, you think, wow, that's so powerful.
It is, and the quality of the questions that were coming yesterday. These are their questions. There's no, there's no question that those are their questions, and they were really authentic ones. Are you all right for next Friday or not? Do you want to do the same, or are you? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. I'm fine. That's good.
So just to review, that was really important yesterday to have you there. They really lifted them.
Good.
Because I know some of those questions were very difficult questions, and they really, you help them work through them and see the kind of the bigger picture on it. So,
I'm really pleased.
Sorry.
No, I'm just really pleased about that. And there were two responses that we must remind each other of. One is for me to see if I can look at Moira Evans's paper on the use of fiction to deal with those very difficult, emotional and tense experiences that can happen within an organisation that you can't talk about authentically in the sense of the ethics of the process. So I'll try and work on... Richard Window had a paper on it as well. So I'll just see if I can find those references for your student. And also, if we just remind each other about the vulnerable children and that inquiry that student was undertaking in terms of working with the vulnerable children and what actually might be done, especially as co-researchers.
Well, it was just Joe that spoke, but there are several doing that.
Okay.
So the others were listening intently.
Yeah.
And I have the Maggie McClure paper that I will send to them, so I don't need that. But the Richard Winter, I know I've seen it, but I couldn't put my hands on it. And you also talked about Foucault's book, and I'm not sure that that's readily accessible, but is there anything from that book that we could draw on?
Well, care for the self. No, perhaps not, but I'll have a look and I'll just think about that, because it was the way in which that student of yours, she was saying that care for the self was very, very important, and she needed that quality of care within the group that she was now participating in with you to feel that safety so she could explore quite a lot of these difficult issues. And that I think G.K. Adler-Collins have got a lovely section on the creation of a safe and healing space, and that's in his thesis. So I'll look up to see if I've got that chapter that might be useful, because I thought that student was really open, honest, and raising, important values. That's great.
Now those references to students as co-researchers, I have those, so I can send them on. I mean, we got the Wagner's off co.
Yeah.
You've got Cartwright.
Yeah. Sally Cartwright's is superb. And Branco's one, that's very good indeed. And also Joy Mounter's about can the children become the action researchers. That's really good.
So some good things came out in the session on the life-affirming energy.
Yeah.
That was kind of one of the key concepts I wanted to get into yesterday. So when it didn't come up, and I kind of stimulated it because that's an important piece. And they had our paper as a reading, but sometimes you need to hear that from more than one perspective.
Well, I hope they got it because I was asked that by the group that I was with on this earlier in the week, who were doing theatre workshop, and I've just sent around the videotape to actually highlight that process of the empathetic resonance with the video to get a life-enhancing energy. I'll send you a copy. I'll forward the email I've just sent out so you can see that what came up. And there's a beautiful moment, and I'll see if I can find it, where you look at the camera and you talk to me yesterday. And actually, that was where you evoked in me that flow of energy. And I think it's unmistakable. So again, I think it's just highlighting those times, because each one of them, you could clearly feel their passion. And yet you just hope they don't omit it from their accounts, don't you? That it's so important.
You can't see yourself unless you do something like
That's
this.
right.
But, when they talk about what matters to them, their faces light up.
They do.
Yeah. It's a different face.
Yeah,
It's almost like, where was that face a few minutes ago?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's that I think, well, you are focusing on it and you're highlighting the importance of that energy and those values. So that was really good. I really enjoyed that.
That was great, Jack. Thank you for your time.
Okay, no, it's a pleasure. And we'll link up again next Friday, yes? What about, you give me a time and I'll be on.
Well, the time we usually use is usually a good one, that 9 my time, 2 yours.
Yes, that's fine. I'll put that in my diary so it's there.
The conversation from last Friday, did that get uploaded?
No, it doesn't. For some reason, that actually didn't, I don't think why that didn't record, I'm not sure, but I'll have another look. But I've had 3 searches for it, and something happened to that. But this one's all right.
Maybe I did it. I mean, it kind of skews it in terms of, picture of the place. But I think maybe I did too. So I'll look and see if I can find it, and if I can, I'll upload it.
Oh, that would be excellent, and I'll do the same.
I'm going to mention to you that I can't seem to transfer the videos to the front page of my YouTube channel, but it goes into what's called my channel. I can put it in there.
Right.
So I'm not sure what I don't know there.
No, I don't.
When you look at your YouTube channel page, it's called My Channel.
Yeah.
So I can transfer them from your YouTube page to mine in My Channel, but it doesn't come in that upfront list of videos, which, I'd like to kind of sort them so you could see the before, during, and after as a sequence. So if you have any ideas on how to do that.
I'm not sure. It might be something you just get in touch with YouTube just to ask them, because they'll clearly, they will know how to do that, and I've just never had to do that. Yeah.
The other thing is that I bought a new camera.
Yeah.
It's a lovely little baby.
Great. Good.
But they told me that you have to buy a program called, what is it called? Final Cut.
Oh, God.
In order to use the new high-definition cameras with a Mac.
Ooh. No. That's, well...
I'm not sure if that's true yet, so I'm going to try to upload it just with iMovie 11.
No. You can. Yes, don't buy Final Cut Pro. It's a very expensive program. I mean, it's like, I've got it, but I got it from the university when it was about 800. It was very expensive, about £700.
No, it's not that expensive.
Right. No. Well, the Final Cut Pro, it gives you a very good editing facility, but the iMovie, my experience of iMovie 11 is excellent. I mean, it does everything I want.
So I'm going to test it out first.
Yeah. No, do it with iMovie because it will do with the high definition. It really does. No problem.
Okay. So I'll have a look for that session we did last Friday.
Good.
I also tape it just in the chance.
Excellent. Well, I'm really pleased if you've got that because, as I say, that's the only one that I've managed to get. That's great.
The other person around caring is Nell Noddings, and actually it was Charmaine there that talked about that.
Yeah.
Those traumatic sort of self-evaluations. And so Nell is another one that is her question about how can I live my value of care as principal in my school.
Excellent.
And so I'll pull out some noddings too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's great to see you.
Nice chatting with you.
Yeah. Bye, love. Ta-da.
Bye-bye.